Hey Earth Animals, my name is Dr. Chris Hansen. I am on the product development team here at Earth Animal, and with me today is a man who needs absolutely no introduction, Dr. Bob Goldstein, who is one of the founders of Earth Animal and the creator and the formulator of our new food, Wisdom.
In order to keep it nutritionally sound, we needed a lot of science behind it because unlike a kibble where everything is mixed together, we have separate components, and when you mix them together, we had to make sure that it was complete and balanced. When I was a young veterinarian and I walked into a plant and I saw how they made that, I said, nutritionally, that cannot be good for the animal. It just couldn't be good for them. You know, the amount of heat is like over 300 degrees and then pressure and it expands it. It just was not a natural process. Early in my career, I went away from kibble, and this is this perfect replacement for kibble.
So let's talk about where and how it's made.
The reason that this took 6 or 7 years to develop is that initially, when I went to the manufacturers to really make this food for us, we could not find a manufacturer who would do it according to my nutritional specs and the way I wanted it processed. They just could not do it. So what we did is we decided to buy our own plant, and that's what Riverstone is. So in Riverstone, we can control the raw ingredients from the farm all the way to the finished product. And number two, we purchased our own dehydrators, so we control that whole process. And our dehydrators are like 40 feet long. So slowly, as the food goes through that, the moisture is taken out, and the end result after an 8 or 10 hour period is our dehydrated food.
Let's talk about the fruits and vegetables.
You know, the benefit of fruits and vegetables is what's called phytonutrients, and phytonutrients are what give the individual fruits and vegetable their color. We have broccoli, which is green, obviously has a phytonutrient called chlorophyll. Then you have blueberries, you know, and they add a different type of phytonutrient. So what we did is we selected sort of a rainbow of colors. When we mix them together, we're getting a varied amount of phytonutrients.
And when you have vibrancy, you know they've also maintained their nutritional content.
We added sprouts to this. So these sprouts are really nutritionally dense and can really offer the animal a tremendous amount of nutrients to keep their body healthy.
Let's talk about the third component, and this is a big one too, the Vitality Cubes.
Right. That's my favorite.
It is your favorite. So tell us about the Vitality Cubes.
What this part of the food does, it has all the vitamins and minerals, and it also has some nutritional components like sprouts. And the combination of all of those, one, supplies the proper amount of vitamins and minerals and fatty acids that the animal needs in order to be a complete and balanced food. In addition to that, it has its own nutrition, like in the form of sprouts, which are really dense nutrition and really good for the animal.
That's great. And again, the difference between cooking them low and slow and a high heat kibble, we maintain a lot more nutrients.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You can see it in these animals that are on it. You know, one of the things we talk about all the time is the microbiome, right? Mm-hmm. The gut biome, which is the collection of bacteria, both healthy and unhealthy, that lives in our guts. Yeah. And our guts, both people and animals, account for about 75% of your immune system. Mm-hmm. Healthy gut is a healthy body, right?
Absolutely.
Mind,
Absolutely.
They are now linking things like anxieties to poor gut health. So it is hugely important to maintain gut health, and this is a food that really does that.
Absolutely. And you were right, the microbiome, you know, 70% of the immune system of the body, which protects the body against disease in general, is located in the gut, which is where this food goes. So if you can reduce inflammation as it comes in, you're getting 70% of the immune system not having to fight inflammation, but just to absorb nutrients so you can nourish the body.
Radiates out from that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tell me about the two protein options and why you chose them to start.
Well, we started out with obviously turkey and chicken, and the reason we did that, all our protein sources are what's called GAP certified. That's the Global Animal Partnership. So those animals that we're using, they were raised properly, they had sunshine, they were outdoors, they were really, really good, well cared for animals. And that was one of Earth Animal's pillars, to make sure that whatever source we use, they were mainly treated while they were here. So that was first thing that we did, was get GAP certified, and chicken and turkey were the most available GAP certified type of protein.
So let's talk about palatability and digestibility.
Well, first of all, from a palatability point of view, there's 65% protein, and animals love protein. So this dehydrated turkey and dehydrated chicken, that's the main ingredient. So when an animal comes up and smells this, oh my God, it's like chicken or turkey, they just eat the whole thing. A dog and cat, their diet should be a high amount of protein, a moderate amount of fat, and very low on the carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are really not a necessary nutrient for dogs and cats. And in doing it this way with separate components, we're able to get the high amount of protein, moderate fat, low carbohydrate.
Let's talk about one of the things that really impresses me about this food is its versatility, right? You can use it in many different ways. So let's talk about that a bit.
Well, remember, it's three components. So you have 65% meat, you have 25% the cubes, and 10% of the fruits and vegetables. So basically, you could use this as a food, complete and balanced food, number one. Finicky eaters add a little bit of water to make it moist so they like it better. So that's number one. You could use it as a topper for a kibble to enhance the flavor of a kibble. You could use it as a treat or a training method, because the animals love this so much because it's 65% turkey or 65% chicken. Animals love chicken. They love turkey. So you could use it as a topper or a flavor enhancer for other foods.
You know, I have several clients on it that are feeding it now and just are in love with it, okay? And you know, picky eaters especially, that some of them that were on just home-cooked people food that wasn't really nutritionally balanced, right. All of a sudden they introduce this and the animals are loving it and eating it, and you're just picking up their health, right?
Well, you're really feeding them food, and you know, the food is coming to them just in their natural form. Instead of being ground up and having all sorts of meals and cooked at a high temperature, it's actually food.
Right. And you know, one of the things I talk to my clients about is, to me, I kind of call this like the best of both worlds. It's really like a raw that feeds like a kibble because you can store it at room temperature. And for ease of use, you don't have to go into your freezer and you don't have to take something out and let it thaw, or you don't have to add water and reconstitute it. So besides great for the animal, it's also easy for the owner.